or they put a tax on
Beach Boy, you're my favorite.
tax on, come and rescue me. Come and rescue me. Caught up in a memory of Father. Father, can you sit with me? Or Mama, born to be a leader of the sovereign. I'm conscious. When I was a virgin, I had an aversion to each and every person. Thought it was a curse on. When I started sexing, it was just a lesson. It is not connecting. What I put a tax on. Born as a protector, now I'm an investor. Counting every step for, counting every step for. Remember that the time flies each and every time I pick up on my mind. I do it for the sake of
save me, save me, save me. Looking in the mirror, screaming, no one's coming to forsake me. The way I used to fail me, the thoughts that betrayed me. I just berate me, damn I felt so crazy. Now I turn to praise me, I find that more wavy than the navy. I never fail me again. Don't so low the person that I can't save me, save me. Looking in the mirror, screaming, save me. Used to let them drain me, shame me, tried to persuade me to let them name me. Now I embrace me, save me, save me, save me, I save me. Caught up in a memory of Father. Father, can you sit with me, Mama? Born to be a leader of the sovereign. I'm conscious, caught up in a memory of Father. Father, can you sit with me, Mama? Want to be a leader of the sovereign. I'm conscious. I save me, save me, save me. I save me, save me, save me. I save me, save me, save me.
Thank you.
When you download the Kroger app, you have easy access to
That's a
savings.
commercial. That's straight from SoundCloud, y'all, and y'all gonna get them commercials. In the meantime, I am here with Jillian Brown herself, and King Adonnis is popping up in here. Do y'all hear me? If you would share with us your opening. Thank you for being here on Karmic Dynasty again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me again. I am Jillian Brown, also known as the Wurd Witch. Any of my music, like Rescue Me, featuring JACKULA, can be found on my SoundCloud page under the same name, or I have a few on Spotify as well. But thank y'all so much again for inviting me, and I love being here. So thank you.
Gratitude. Yes, link is in the description below. SoundCloud. Check her out. Jillian Brown, the Wurd Witch. Don't make me come on camera because I don't got my hair combed today, but y'all know I will come in as I am. And here I am talking on it. How y'all here? King Adonnis. He's here.
Peace.
Talk to us officially.
Peace, love, and light. Gratitude to all of those people that are tuning in to the frequency of the divine light now and in the future. Gratitude to my body, gratitude to your body, and gratitude to all the listeners.
Gratitude. Kind Creatress is here, my BFF. Check her out. She knows I get down a little bit. I don't comb my hair today. I didn't comb my hair.
Looking great.
Gratitude to the here is comb. I'm happy it's comb. I swear, I was shy. Jillian. Now, I always talk about how I came about my platform topics. Now, today, Jillian is the reason why. So I'm gonna ask Jillian to talk to us about her views of embodiment of sound and why she felt. I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna tell her feeling. She was led. She gonna tell y'all. I don't like talking. She gonna tell y'all. She here. Here she go.
Well, thank you. So yeah, embodiment of sound. It's funny, before we started the show, I was talking about how I think about the way I have created a sound barrier within myself, a boundary within myself to self-limiting thoughts or ideas that I used to entertain. And the last show, we were saying self-image is the most powerful force we have here. And that image is a lot of times affected by the things we hear, especially growing up. There's a saying, some people have it like on a plaque in their house, and it says, if a child is brought up with criticism, their their molding is completely different than a child brought up with encouragement, or children that are encouraged and pushed to do the things that they're passionate about. So it's interesting that the way that I used to um, ruminate on certain thoughts or traumas that were attempting to give me the illusion of being limited or less than. When I would have a thought to myself to do something that was out the box or even passionate within myself, I immediately would hear a voice behind me that would be like, nah. And when I knew that I was breaking that sound barrier within self is when I started to have these ideas that were like leaps and bounds. And I would say it, and it's like I was listening, but there was no voice anymore saying, nah, you can't or you shouldn't. And I don't know, I found that part of the journey really interesting because those thoughts used to be so loud. They used to be so loud. So when you embody the sound of your living word, and to me, when the actions follow through with the things that you're saying, um, they also say have being sound in mind, right? Or being a sound pillar for something. And of course, the way that's used in language is a little different. But sound in mind is not listening to things that are going to negatively affect you or take you out of the path that you feel least resistance on. So it's just interesting, like being in this part of the journey, and like I said, I feel like it's really just beginning for me now that I'm moving in that space. So it's also interesting that knowing yourself helps you to understand when you are picking up thoughts or projections of others, um, versus before when I didn't, and I would entertain these thoughts and thought that they were all mine. Um, like I was, some people will say that sometimes they will hear like the strangest voice, right? They could be driving and it's just something that be like, you should do such and such, something stupid, right? And it's like, that's not mine. That's not me. That's that don't even make no sense. Why would I do that? Um, and those are sometimes like archons, those types of energies, right? That can be over you trying to implant certain thought forms. Music a lot has egregores or thought forms sometimes that can be placed in them. And this is where a lot of times we pick these sounds or thoughts up from. So knowing yourself helps you to identify when it is something that's not in alignment with you. And therefore, you don't have to follow all those thoughts, right? Not every train of thought do we need to jump on. So, embodying the sound of possibility is what I feel like I'm definitely experiencing now. Um, and being able to move in confidence with that is a huge, huge turnaround from when I started this journey. So if there are people out there that are um, you experience a lot of doubtful energy, um, and sometimes, for the most part, from your own thoughts, I would like to just say that it's like anything, like even our intuition can be trained. We can it can be trained. You can literally begin to listen. That's what affirmations are. Affirmations are positive statements that you listen to. The best time to do it is when you first wake up or right before you go to sleep, because you're in a different brain wave and it's going straight to the subconscious. And this way is one of the ways that you can help to remold or reshape your thought patterns so that you are telling yourself better sounds, better stories, better ideas about yourself. And that the change is possible. Like you're really looking at somebody who really suffered from severe depression because I did not understand myself. I didn't understand I was a creative. I didn't understand none of that. I didn't understand at one point that we could even control our thoughts. So I don't know. I just wanted to say that work on it. And the same way you would focus if you wanted to, I don't know, build a multi-million dollar business and you say, you know what, I have to work on this specific things for 2 3 years, however many years the deadline you give yourself. It's the same thing with yourself. And that's the richest energy you can actually give yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Ashe,
Man, better thoughts and beliefs
Ashe.
about ourselves are so powerful. It's crazy. It's crazy because now I don't know, I'm watching my whole life change. I watched the whole trajectory. So I wanted to talk about that, how sound can change your trajectory. So if there's a if there is a target right here, right? And if I'm shooting, I shoot just just to the side of it. Right near the target, it's probably just an inch. But if we were to, like the graph lines in school, if we were to continue to follow right, the lines that it missed down the years, the trajectory is much wider. Like now it's more time and distance, it's much wider. So that's how much we can, it can start to seem like a little bit off the path and then it can get really off the path. So um, that trajectory can be realigned by using sounds like, the chanting, the affirmations, however you choose to do it. There, all roads lead home. So, um, but I don't know, it's crazy. Like
It's
I don't know.
synchronicity. The synchronicities. It's all signs, the symbolisms of the life.
Really.
And during these shifts and alignments, we can only be present. And in the present moment, we find the best gift of now, which looks like sound. So everything we know, everything is a frequency, is vibration, is
Really.
consciousness, right? Because there's different. We're peeling back in the life. The intent is to, when we walk this path, we are peeling back the layers of
Yeah.
ourselves in order to be able to grasp the multidimensional aspects of the positions that we play in growing. So we start, do the children cycle, teenage cycle, adulting cycle, but during those cycles, we we have a natural way of being, and we succumb to the sounds of the ones around us. That's
Mm,
your parents telling you it's not okay to do such and such, or do this, look both, shut, those thought programs, right? Because you said the thought
absolutely.
and the affirmations, right? Which was why I wanted to speak on the power of speaking over yourself.
Yes.
So in the beginning was the word. We have to, in the body we have the voice or speech, and the sound. We create our worlds as we speak, and our thoughts are so powerful because it's that first initial thought. Your thoughts are physical, so you have a physical creation, And in order to bring that creation into existence, it needs movement, it needs energy, and that energy comes from action, and the action is sound, because we operate in oceans of consciousness where it's standing waves, standing wave particles. And when sound impacts those particles, that's when they begin to spiral, and they're able to spike that bullseye, because just like the human body, it grows in a golden ratio. And this is where cymatics and fractals are so important, because it's everything. You can break it down to where sound is. There's a picture. It was like light, or cymatics is visible sound, and sound is uh hearable light,
Yes.
something like that. But
Yes.
essentially, the sounds that we are speaking on, the sounds that we speak over ourselves, the sounds that we say on a day-to-day basis, the sounds that we speak to other people, if we receive all of that, anything you say to anybody else, it comes to you first, because it came from your sound box, from your mouth. So you're speaking anything to anybody else, to any over anything else, you're speaking it to yourself first. You have to be very mindful in your speech, because that speech is therefore an action to your thought creation, because you thought it here. And if you are just reacting and responding to the sounds that are being projected onto you, you have to develop you have to develop self mastery. That's how true it
Absolutely.
was. 1828 on the clock.
Absolutely.
You got to develop that self mastery, and it's that self mastery is becoming the observer of your thoughts, and being able to recognize and discern what is your energy and what is not your energy. And if you recognize something of that's not your energy, how are you going to alchemize it? How are you going to uh, tap in with source to co-create a new reality or a new experience? And even if life isn't all peaches and cream, be able to recognize your feelings, understand why you feel in those feelings, because it came from somebody, from a sound outside of yourself. Because in the beginning, we all come from love. So we got to figure out how we've aspected ourselves into the lessons that we've chosen to learn, and seeing how those frequencies of the words that were spoken over us, the frequency of the music that we're listening to, just sitting in your car or be living in the cities, we have so much sound pollution that's coming through on different levels. In the grocery store, you got all the different music that they play, TVs, all the different frequencies that our bodies are recording on a consistent basis. Some We are only conscious to a percentage of what the body is actually remembering and recording, and that is what is the subconscious mind is about. It's that infinite memory storage that is recording your life story.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just wanted to touch on what you said about the thought forms and being projected on you. I actually did a post yesterday and I was talking about how when I didn't know myself, I couldn't identify when it was me from when it wasn't me. And so, I'm definitely always about the accountability, because at the end of the day, um, there's no amount of like evil eye or any of these things that people want to do that can trump your inner discipline and self mastery once you get it right. And as you were talking about transmuting and using that energy, because it's all energy, definitely can be used. When spiritual attacks come against me, I feel like by the time I finish transmuting it, I blew up like Goku. It's crazy. It's like, the way that can be used, if you can, or if you're able to flip perspectives and draw out the lessons and the power from it. But it's interesting though, because again, if we're saying that thought forms, right, can be done even by the sound of people's thoughts. And we understand that our magnetic fields, even if we get too close to somebody, entangles. right? So the things that's why sometimes we can pick up something, or we will start singing a song and then we change the channel on the radio and that song is playing. So where did we pick that up? We were able to channel, right? And
Or
and you
stream, live
exactly.
stream.
Exactly. And you can always switch channels, right? When you are, if you are on a channel and that channel is not serving you, then you could always switch to another channel. I'm sorry, I have a lot of family like visiting, so they're
Happy
like,
holidays.
they but it's just interesting because a lot of people do not realize that what happens is that when people do that and project that onto you, like, I don't know if a lot of people are, considering that, like,
They don't
even
have.
some work is,
Oh,
like,
this just came up. Tag.
magical. Yes, but it can manifest as a thought form. It can manifest as procrastination. It can manifest as a lot of self-doubt. So this manifests or attempts to illusion you within self that you are actually, um truly experiencing these things when they are a projection. And a projection is like something that is shown onto another image,
A reflection.
right?
It's not the true embodiment. It's not the
Ex-
full authentic, the authentic source. And that's where you got to become your own sorcerer, because then
Yeah,
you fall into that jurisdiction of living for something outside of your source, outside of yourself.
you definitely can. And I mean, for those of us, I feel that are here with very specific purposes. When I talk, with a lot of people, a lot of us have, very similar experiences. And those experiences were so that we could begin to tell ourselves specific stories. Things like nothing works out for me, no one will love me. You know what I'm saying? Those things. And if we understand that we are powerful co-creators within our life, you can see how projecting or picking up sounds or entertaining sounds, ideas, thoughts that are not in alignment with your higher self, you could see how that could definitely put you on another projection. And one day on my post, I said, empath at times can equal easily influence because you're able to pick up so many channels. So again, for me this year, a lot of it was boundaries and not, more boundaries within self. I began to realize the more that I disciplined myself on the inside is the more freedom as I was experiencing externally. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
that.
like
It's
so crazy.
the consistency of showing up for yourself always pays off universally. And that's where I found a huge relief in, because as I'm a Virgo, so like, a Virgo rising, I'm a Cancer, but I'm a
Okay.
Virgo rising, so like a lot of my experiences are doing like things in a working type of environment, and now I'm living in a lifestyle where I don't work for anybody outside of myself, and being able to the receive like doing the work for myself, and because I'm always showing up and saying yes for other opportunities and other people's experiences that they're putting on, being able to say yes to myself and showing up to myself, empowering my own thoughts and creating the actions off of what I would like the world to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And all of that comes back down to sound. There's actually more connections from the ears to the brain than the
The
eyes to the
vagus
brain.
nerve, the vagus nerve,
Oh, yeah.
it connects the, so we hear sound through the vagus nerve. It enters our ears through the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve connects. It goes all the way down our spine, and it connects to the lower reproductive systems as well. So it's essentially like the communication network of the chakra systems in along the endocrine, which is the spinal body, and acting as that messenger when so I'm as a water sign, I work with the waters, and I listen to program water
Mm,
programs. So it's waters that have recorded the affirmations, and it's the sound, because the water water is the messenger of all information of sound. It records those sounds and frequencies, and it carries them, and then it speaks, and the clashing of the waves and the running of, even when we brushing our teeth, having the water running in our shower. So I feel so cleansing is because we're getting that healing energy from the mother, the water. And
Mhm.
that's what that 0 point energy is. That infinite abundant energy is the waters, and they're tangible and intangible. So
Absolutely.
being in this physical reality, finding balance to listen to the waters and being programmed by the waters that have been programmed with positive affirmations, you let the waters in because we are already made of water, connecting with those etherical waters, with your physical waters, and then therefore having a deeper connection with the elements themselves. Because when you get the water, you get the water in the earth. Because before the earth was able, the water was brought to the earth. There was a point in time where there was no water on earth. It was just this magnetic ball, and then allegedly it was water was brought here by asteroids, and then through the process of rain and cycling, water creates itself. It's because it's as above and so below. It's pulling from that 0 point, the infinite cosmic nothing waters, into the physical tangible waters.
And when we, if y'all haven't seen videos of cymatics, I would definitely recommend you look it up. That way, everything that King Adonis is letting us know will really sink into you via more than just one sense. Even though I tend to feel like they're definitely all connected the same way how most of our taste buds are really in our nose. And that's why when you get, some people when their sinuses are blocked, they can't taste anything because most of them are really in the nose. So it's amazing how when my thoughts and ideas about sound changed, the way I began to experience through all of my senses changed quite a bit. So definitely look up some videos on cymatics so you can see how much sound affects the formation of water. And as he was saying, right, with the water being able to give you messages, you are mostly water. So this means you can shape it. And within Dr. Emoto's experiment, what was interesting when he put those words on water and they form specific shapes, if if the statement, the word was not kept on the jar, after so many days, the water it would revert back out of the crystal form. So it's interesting too that along my journey, I would find things that would help me. They would be healing, and then I don't know. After some time, I might start sliding off of that, and then I would notice, you know what I'm saying, that that I'm seeing it somewhere in my life. I'm seeing where I slid off at. So when you hear things like them saying it takes at least 21 days to form a new habit, things like that, if you look at it from the route of cymatics and sound, sometimes that can help you to understand why, and why it's a good thing to continue on with these modes of healing, modalities of healing, whichever ones we would like to, whatever piques your interest, to stick with it for some time so that it truly becomes a part of your routine and it truly becomes a part of your new formation of who you are. And you'll really begin to see your ideas and thoughts funnel differently um, through those things. Like the last time I was here, I mentioned the law of Haru. It is not what you're imagining, it is who I'm sorry, it's not what you're imagining, it's who is doing the imagining. And I also said perspective places power. So these were two statements that throughout the years I continued, like every single time I had something that I was faced with, those were things that I would literally be saying to myself in the background so that I could pull out the highest perspective that could serve.
So this is why it's important to embody the embodying the sound, right? So our body is multiple sounds. Our heartbeat has its own frequency. Our lungs, they all have their own frequencies and cymatic frequencies of what are frequencies? They're basically vibrations. They are the sounds that allow us to resonate in different consciousnesses, because essentially we are all, everything is consciousness, whether it recognizes itself as conscious or not. And being able to manipulate the energy in this life so that we can see the creations that we want to, being able to stand in our authenticity, stand in our truth, and move forward in a fashion where not only are the people around us able to recognize the light that we shine when we stand authentically, from embodying our own sounds of ourselves, and recognizing our foundation and where we come from, finding our flow, and finding our rhythm, because essentially it's a cosmic symphony of
Mhm.
different frequencies and musical notes. uh,
Absolutely.
I recall hearing one of the speakers in the metaphysical community say, like, our bodies start off as like a symphony, and it's never the same like loop of music. We are consistently spiraling. It's beautifully designed in the geometry. So everything
Absolutely.
that's in the physical is just a sound. It came forth as a thought, and then to a sound, and then to the physical. It's the way these things come or solidify in order to come into, it's the number sequence. And
Yeah.
that's why the frequencies are the numbers, and then the universe has begun to speak to me through mathematics and understanding uh the numerology of things, the symbology behind the different numbers, and putting the symbology together with the different angel numbers, which are just frequencies that are messages from the universe, from the cosmos, from the
Absolutely.
multiverse, on how you can align with a different energy, because we are simply remembering these songs.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, I remember, I'll try to send it to, but I put up a post a couple of years ago as my sensitivities were changing and I began to hear things on different levels, right? So even when we think about, for instance, right, a dog whistle. There are frequencies outside of the regular spectrum that generally that humans hear that other animals can pick up. And these, for instance, if people that have like those huge, huge driveways, right, that live in the country, a lot of times they might not hear or know somebody that's approaching, but their dog, you know what I'm saying, will let them know and alert them. So these being tuned in, channeled in to frequencies, right? It's going to give you information. It's going to alert you to things that that most regularly might not be alerted to. But one of the things that I recalled like experiencing one day, um, again, I experienced magnetic fields tactically. So I don't know. I was at the gig and it was like a wall of energy just came through. Woof, and it was like I don't know, and I was, like, the only one affected. And I'm like, "Y'all didn't feel that?" And after that, I stood next to somebody, and it's like I could hear their body. I don't know how to explain it properly, but I
Yes.
could hear and so when I looked it up, there's microscopically, there's actually, like, pores in your bones. There's, like, these porous little tiny holes in the bones, and when we each, as you were saying, have a frequency, right? We have a note. And that's why authenticity is so important because when you're in your authenticity, you are playing your note. And if we were all to play our note, like you said, it is a cosmic symphony. The way you begin to see things moving together, it's amazing. But and when we're not, it's like being off key. So we are music is matter like solidified. So
Mhm.
we are definitely working in that. Also, I remember too when I was looking at these documentaries of like shamans, right, that live in the jungle. They can walk out and all these different herbs, but no, this one is for the heart. This one is for the liver. This one is for the pancreas. And I was like, other than verbally passing that down, but that's also a way of teaching, right? Sound. And that's how a lot of our stories were
The
also
oral
written for.
traditions.
Exactly.
There's a lot of
But
prophecies too come through oral traditions.
absolutely. But some of them, I remember reading one that said they all, everything, everything vibrates. So there were some that could actually walk over to an herb, and the herb would vibrate, and it would vibrate in the specific part of the body, and that's how they knew. And I was like, get out of here. That is amazing. But so what is available and what is possible with the science of sound is blowing my mind. Like the more that now I'm getting into music, and my page has just become a sound page. Um, a lot of oldie goldies. I'm looking for beat makers to sample a lot of oldies for me right now for my EP. But it's just amazing. There are music composers or professors that are getting into cancer research because they are using now frequencies to blow up cancer cells. What is possible and available with sound is ridiculous. It is limitless. So, um, definitely with the science of sound, and being embodying the sound of your power is moving in action. So it becomes more than just sound, guys. This really can literally take your life and
Expanded
reposition. Exactly.
and exponentially, because it in the life, we the intention is to grow and seek more wisdom, and then the sound becomes light, becomes the information which we experience through the life, and if we hold on to that wisdom, and we're recording on these sounds, like I was saying earlier, our body is a recording. Our body is a subconscious that is the recorder. It's like, because we live in the matrix where like mother speaks through, like they say, source or God looked into the face of the waters, and then it was the sound that the waters are now carrying, that we are able to grow and experience now. So as we become adapted to new streams of flow, new music, new poetry, new creation, we then expand life and existence itself.
Absolutely.
And that
Absolutely.
just skyrockets you into new possibilities that you have are remembering for the very first time. And then it's nothing like the first time to be able to experience something that is it feels adept, or it's natural. And this is where we get those telepathic connections, where we can just
Absolutely.
go into nature and hear. Like one time I was in Caribbean Sea swimming under the water. I had got did I had on the goggles, wasn't really wearing the goggles, but I'm just swimming. It's about 3 feet water. There's like islands that separate from the dark ocean,
Hmm.
from where, like, just most, like, just sand, and about 3 feet, 4 feet of water. You can stand and see the bottom. But as I'm swimming by the reefs, I just had this innate feeling like, grab some of that seaweed from this reef. So I grabbed the seaweed and I get back to the boat. I start eating the seaweed. It tastes like salt and vinegar chips.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll be making up some seaweed snacks.
I'm like,
Yeah.
this is nutritious, and I wanted some more, but it just was. It's those type of innate like feelings. Because another time I was just walked into my living room on a mushroom journey, and I literally watched all the plants in the living room come awake,
Yes.
just for them recognizing the energy. And that's just how it goes into the theory that, like, those standing wave particles, where nothing is really there unless there's external presence to observe it and recognize it. So when we observe our thoughts, we recognize our thoughts for what they are. We are able to discern properly on how we should be moving forward.
I like the way you just tied in the inner sound to your intuition as well. And so that's if for any other reason, even if you don't feel like studying sound, I do apologize, guys. I so apologize. I'm gonna have to cut this short. They driving me a bit nuts today. I so apologize. I apparently am needed, but I would love to pick this back up again. I definitely apologize. I didn't even remember it was today when I scheduled it. So my deepest apologies, y'all.
You good, you good. And I just sat back down, just got back in from my run. So there may be some
Okay.
sounds around here. I appreciate you, Jillian, for being here, as always.
Thank you so much.
Carmen
Thank you so
Dynasty.
much.
Gratitude for
Again,
the
we can
wisdom.
definitely finish up because I know
I
I'm
think
cutting it short.
it's
I
good.
appreciate y'all. Peace.
Come back. We'll be here.
Peace.
Peace, Jillian.
Thank
Peace,
you. Thank
peace.
you. Peace.
Up, King Adonnis. What type of
Greetings
announcement?
and gratitude to the family. We
So,
got
do you have more you want to talk about? While I'm here. We're here. We're cleaning up around these pots.
yeah, I
Go ahead.
just
I'm
want
listening.
to embody the family with the importance of where these sounds are coming from and how the internal sounds are correlating directly with the cosmic sounds. These celestial bodies are vibrating at different frequencies and different uh, magnetic energy. So the planets, we got a bunch of celestial transits that are approaching soon. And as these planets are transitioning and dancing on a celestial stage, we are able to observe the celestial stage and make direct correlations to our personal lives so that we can make positive and impactful, efficient, effective change. And then it also correlates to the world stage that has been distracting the community and the collective with the celebrity themes, with fake wars, and not really promoting the nature's call, because we're here to navigate the waters of consciousness, to navigate our directions so that we can come back to ourselves, come back to our sounds, so that we can be one mind, one sound, one thought, one vibration in unity. And from that place of singularity, recognize that we are one love and that we are many selves expressing ourselves in this universal cosmic sound. Be aware of the energy and the sounds of others that are around you. It's deeply encoded within your DNA, these frequencies. So the more that you master the sounds, the more you master your speech, more you expand your vocabulary, and you speak over yourself, you speak to yourself, you come into divine vibration. That is the chosen energy. The chosen choose themselves. It's not a specific amount of people, but that's the perspective. So mind your perspective, observe your perspective, observe your thoughts. Gratitude to all those now and in the future.
Gratitude to all of y'all. I didn't. It's a lot going on around here. I done got pushed over
Yeah,
by
it's
the
the holiday
refrigerator.
season. I know everybody got chilling with their family.
I mean,
Grateful
I
for all the
don't
family tapping
participate,
in.
but somehow I got stuck. They done put me up in the corner over here, and and it's busy. And some people don't want to be on screen, so my camera's off sometimes when the coast is clear. Yes, so definitely. The point I picked up that I want to share is, yes, the water. Jillian was talking about sharing images of what King Adonnis was speaking on, the water and how it's affected by the sound. And I just have wanted to talk quite quick about these things. People know, they know it. That's why they do things like talk to their plants and other things. And us women, that's why when we have our children and they're in the womb, we do the like headphones on our belly and they listen to certain sounds, classical music. I heard somebody yesterday talking about they played their children, not yes, 2 days ago, they played their children all jazz music when they were in the womb.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
The blues are so
yes,
powerful.
yes. So definitely these are things that if we didn't read it on Google or didn't hear it on a YouTube video, we know it by nature. It's natural for us to do something like talking to our plants and talking to our dogs and just different
Hugging the
things,
trees.
environments. They are they're shaped by our voice and our tone and our words. Definitely.
Yes. And the more we embody the awareness that we are creating our reality, the more that we are able to stand up for ourselves, stand in our truths, and bring forward the reality which we seek. We are entering the year of the dragon. Feel me? And in this dragon energy, we got Mercury, Jupiter, Neptune, and Chiron going prograde on January the 1st. That looks like 2024 and being the blueprint for 2024, looking like things picking up, things being revealed, things being healed, things being transformative and extreme, because on the 24th of January, Pluto's going into Aquarius. So we're going to be operating into that Aquarian energy until she goes retrograde. And with all these different celestial transits, pay attention to your emotions. Pay attention to the actions that you are experiencing in the now, and plan ahead. That's how we play in 5D chess. You got to be considerate of your moves, your opposition moves, and the people that are in between, because everybody's energy is going to play impact in as we move forward until 2025 and 2030 on these years of completion and closing out the cycles of the time that we're living in.
Well, King Adonnis, are those your words before we leave here today? Your last words, or you have anything else you'd like to share?
That would be all the wisdom that is coming from this sun on this Ray Day. I just want to send the family, much love and much light and chaos.
Definitely some chaos. I know that's right. All right, y'all. We on our way out of here. Definitely as always, and appreciate y'all being here. Y'all gonna hear some of my background. I got some children over here, and they not about to fight over how to squeeze a lemon. I promise y'all.
Put a tax on
Beach Boy, you're my favorite.
tax on. Come and rescue me. Come and rescue me. Caught up in a memory of Father. Father, can you sit with me and Mama? Born to be leader of the sovereign. I'm conscious. When I was a virgin, I had an aversion to each and every person. Thought it was a curse on. When I started sexing, it was just a lesson. It is not connecting. What I put a tax on. Born as a protector, now I'm an investor. Counting every step forward, counting every step forward. Remember that the time flies each and every time I pick up on my mind. I do it for the sake of
Save me, save me, save me. Looking in the mirror, screaming, no one's coming to forsake me. The way I used to fail me, the thoughts that betrayed me. I just berate me. Damn, I felt so crazy. Now I turn and face. Find out more wavy than the Navy. I'll never fail me again with thoughts so low that they pretend that I can't. Save me, save me. Looking in the mirror, screaming, save me. Used to let them drain me, shame me, tried to persuade me to let them name me. Now I embrace me, I save me, I save me, save me, I save me. Caught up in a memory of Father. Father, can you sit with me, Mama? Born to be a leader of the sovereign. I'm conscious, caught up in the memory of Father. Father, can you sit with me, Mama? Wanna be a leader of the sovereign. I'm conscious. Save me, save me, save me. Save me, save me.